Washington President Donald Trump hailed it as a great day for civilization, but the agreement hammered out in Ankara, Turkey, between U.S. and Turkish leaders spawned more questions than answers. Thursday's deal called for a 5-day pause in fighting between Turkish and Kurdish fighters and put a temporary halt to the battle along the Syrian border. It also gave the Turks the 20-mile deep 32-kilometer deep safe zone in Syria that leaders in Ankara had sought for months. But what it meant for U.S. forces withdrawing from Syria remained unclear, and some fighting continued Friday morning in a northeast Syrian border town. A look at the key provisions of the deal and remaining uncertainties. The agreement. But almost immediately there were disagreements over what to call the deal and what it meant. Pence and Trump routinely referred to it as a ceasefire. Turkish Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu rejected that term and called it a pause in fighting, because, he said, ceasefires are only possible between two legitimate sides. Cavusoglu also said that the Turks would halt their operation only after the terrorist elements depart from northeast Syria. What also remained unclear is what the Turkish-backed militias of Syrian fighters will do and how much control the Turkish military will have or try to exert over them. What the Turks get. In return for the ceasefire, the Turks will get what they have wanted all along, control of the safe zone in Syria and, if the ceasefire holds, a halt to the economic sanctions that Trump announced Monday when he warned that he could obliterate Turkey's economy. The U.S. withdrawal. There were mixed signals Thursday over what the agreement means for U.S. forces that began a withdrawal from Syria earlier this week as fighting between the Turkish and Kurdish forces escalated and began to threaten the safety of American troops. U.S. officials said the ongoing withdrawal was continuing and would probably take a couple of weeks. Islamic State Group. As the U.S. withdraws, a fundamental question is what the battle to prevent a re-emergence of the Islamic State will look like. U.S. officials have provided little guidance, but they note that the U.S. can, if needed, launch strikes from bases in Iraq near the Syria border. In addition, the U.S. is leaving, at least for now, 200 to 300 troops at the Al-Tanif base in southern Syria. Islamic State prisoners. One of the biggest threats in the conflict has been the potential that thousands of imprisoned Islamic State group fighters could escape. Kurdish forces have been guarding the prisons, but some fighters have left to join the battle along the border. And shelling in some areas may have led to the escape of fewer than 100 detainees. Trump said that the detained will be controlled by different groups. But he added that the U.S. will be watching. We will be in charge. And they will be under very, very powerful and strict control. That may be difficult to do if U.S. troops are not in Syria.